All right, guys, I'm a little late to the breaking news, so I'm instead of talking for a half an hour about this subject like I absolutely can, let's just go to the pertinent issues. First of all, worst possible pick. I know a lot of predictors said that Kamala Harris is absolutely who Joe Biden would go with, but I just didn't think he was that fucking stupid. Because only on paper, the fact that she is a brown woman who was visible in the Democratic presidential debate, that's the only reason why he could have ever wanted to pick her. She has very limited experience in politics. What experience she does have in like law and shit is being a very, very tough on crime, anti-drug, anti-gang prosecutor in California. She's famous for continuing on the same kind of shit that you could really pin on Joe Biden. Both Kamala Harris and Joe Biden are known as tough on crime people who put lots of black people away in jail. You know, probably even beyond, even before the SJW type shit, talking about law enforcement, what liberals were talking about for 10, 20 years was you got to get rid of these 3-strike laws. You got to get rid of these mandatory minimum sentences. Even in California, I believe, I know it's like this here in Florida, you can get charged with like attempted murder or similar violent felonies for possession with intent to distribute of certain drugs that you wouldn't expect, like ecstasy and fentanyl. I think is on that list too. The guy who actually is one of the most responsible people for those laws in this country is literally Joe Biden. Joe Biden co-authored the 1994 Super Predators Crime Bill. And Kamala Harris put away hundreds of black people as a prosecutor under that fucking law. And why would you do that? Idiot. Kamala Harris has zero charisma, zero popularity. Nobody likes her. And the funny thing is, literally, like Project Veritas had leaks saying that they wanted to crown her. They wanted to coronate Kamala Harris as the next big thing. And she had a lot of very early funding because this shit is all collusion anyways. And she was going to be the woman. And her great big shining moment in the debates was literally calling Joe Biden a racist segregationist to his face on the debate stage. That is her one big claim to fame. Her next big claim to fame is getting utterly fucking assassinated. Just fucking Macho Man Randy Savage elbow dropped, Hulk Hogan leg dropped, rock bottom, Stone Cold Stunner, fucking nuclear bomb destroyed by Tulsi fucking Gabbard, one of the most unpopular women for some reason on the Democratic ticket. And mostly that's just because Hillary Clinton lied about her. The thing is, look, popularity wise, as far as I've seen, which is anecdotal evidence, the two most popular Democratic candidates earlier on in the race were Bernie Sanders and Bernie Sanders with boobs, Tulsi Gabbard. No, Tulsi Gabbard's policies and positions were not more reasonable than Bernie Sanders. The only thing that she did correctly was at first say, like, I don't have Trump derangement syndrome and I think impeachment is wrong. And then she kind of flip-flopped on it. So she still voted for it, so she's a fucking liar. And Tulsi Gabbard probably would have been a great olive branch to the far left for Joe Biden, who is not at all a far leftist except for, like, on guns. And really, that's about it. Guns and serious courting of the black vote, which, you know, doesn't mean a lot to me because I believe he'd turn on these people in an instant. He's just doing that to separate himself from Trump and try to secure a minority voting demographic. But Tulsi Gabbard would have been a great pick for his mandatory women pick, you know. But you can't pick Tulsi Gabbard and you can't pick Bernie Sanders because these people are blackballed on the national ticket because they're communists who would destroy the economy. And really, moneyed interests are what run both of the parties at the end of the day. I mean, that's the one thing that is difficult to escape. But when you would promote shit that would cost literally trillions and trillions, with a T and an R, trillions, not trillions, trillions of dollars. And those trillions wouldn't be in subsidies or oil refining or any of that shit, but just, we're just gonna yeet that, just chuck it straight into the fucking lava pit volcano that is the welfare state. No, nobody's gonna have that shit. No, they would ruin the economy, and literally everyone but retard progressives know that. So that's why those two got blackballed. Straight the fuck up. And why the super pro banker fucking slush fund manager Hillary Clinton was the candidate last time. And what's Joe Biden actually really known for? What's like really his claim to fame? Protecting credit card companies and payday loan advance places and shit like that. Shitty, even shittier bankers. Fucking like MasterCard. It's a lot of the internet censorship where people are getting defunded, not just deplatformed, but literally defunded online, where people are basically getting cut out of e-commerce altogether. What's the one company that is most responsible for fucking over people financially on the internet? MasterCard, which is a credit card company. Joe Biden. In Joe Biden's other claim to fame is fucking putting his crack addict son on the fucking board of directors of a corrupt energy firm in the Ukraine. Kid who doesn't have any experience in energy or that kind of commerce, and doesn't even speak the language they speak in Ukraine, and fired a prosecutor for a Ukrainian prosecutor fired for looking into that business that his son was collecting tens of thousands of dollars on per month, by extorting the Ukrainian PM. Basically, literally what Democrats lied and claimed Trump did. And Trump might have done something similar to extortion with the guy, but there was no threat of never sending any funds. Okay, Biden admitted on camera to an audience, laughing audience, like he presented it like a joke, that he literally extorted the Ukrainian PM or president, whatever, I don't know what his name is. But anyway, sorry, I got really terrible allergies. But anyway, let's wrap this up because I promised not to talk forever about this. Kamala Harris has nothing going for her. And she doesn't even have her looks, because she used to be a decently, modestly attractive woman. And she showed up, I think it's Senator John Lewis. I'm not very familiar with him, but the guy who was the longtime senator and civil rights hero. She showed up to his funeral and his in news interviews talking about him, looking like this. John Lewis is a very dear friend, and he was a friend of Dr. King. He's a very important guy. And I'm like, what the fuck happened to her face? You see her looking like a decently, normally attractive woman. Not sexually attractive, but I mean she was kind of pretty. She's in fact known for sleeping her way to the top in her district. I forget if she's from Hawaii or California. I might have accidentally mentioned she's from California before, but she basically fucked the DA when he was still married, and a white man at least 20 years her senior. Maybe because she was pretty back then and sort of pretty now, but now all of a sudden her eyes are so Botox that she literally can't open them. So she looks like French Stewart. Her normally full pouty lips, much like mine. I have very fucking Irish pouty lips, but they're like this thin and then tipped up, so she just looks like if somebody blinded the Joker. He's like, you want to know how I got these scars? Apparently. I mean, the same reason that Joe Biden looks like a ghoul with his fucking face like this is because fucking he's had extensive plastic surgery done in the last year too. And the reason why is because he looked like the Crypt Keeper without it. But the problem is now he just looks like a straight up ghoul. Not just a dead body like the Crypt Keeper, but the kind of creature that crawls out of a grave at night to go eat small babies. He looks terrifying. He looks hideous. And the thing is, that's not even really his fault. See, Kamala Harris looks hideous, and it's her fault. Joe Biden looks hideous because he's trying to look younger, because he's fucking 80 years old, basically. So anyway, that's 10 minutes on this subject, and that's nowhere near all the gaffes I could go on about, and how Joe Biden has said some incredibly either racist things, or just really, the truth is, it wasn't so much that I think he was racist, as he has Alzheimer's and doesn't know what he's saying, and he can't, oh my god, read a teleprompter. And the other thing is, Kamala Harris you just can't call her like a pro BLM, pro lax reform of law enforcement or anything like that, because she is a tough on crime, anti gangbanging, anti black prosecutor, and Joe Biden's an anti black legislator. So honestly, if you're black and you vote for them, you ain't smart.